Hello, my fishing friends. It's your old pal, always ready to talk about our favorite pastime. Today, we're diving deep into what awaits us on January 9th, 2026, across the beautiful Australian waters. I've got some juicy insights for you that might just make this day a truly memorable one on the water. Get ready, because this forecast is going to reveal why this summer day in Australia could be particularly special for anglers, whether you're chasing tropical giants or estuary dwellers. We're talking warm waters, active fish and prime opportunities. Now let's talk tactics and where to find those finned beauties. I've picked out a few key players for this time of year in Australia, keeping in mind the summer conditions and what's biting. First up, for those in the northern reaches, we've got the magnificent Barramundi. January is prime time for these iconic fighters, especially in the top-end's mangrove creeks and estuaries. Why? Because the waters are warm and these areas are absolutely teeming with juvenile prawns and baitfish, making it a feeding frenzy for barra. Look for them around fallen timber, submerged snags and creek mouths on the outgoing tide. For tackle, a medium-heavy bait casting or spinning setup with 40 to 60-pound braid is your best friend. Lures like shallow diving hard bodies, soft plastic prawn imitations, or weedless soft plastics cast tight to structure will get their attention. Remember, friends, a slow, methodical retrieve is often key in these warmer waters. Next, let's head to the coastal reefs and look for Antiahi snapper sea. These prized catches are very active during the Australian summer, with many moving inshore to spawn from October to March or April. This means they're more accessible than usual. Focus your efforts around rocky reefs, artificial structures, and even deeper channels in bays like Sydney Harbour. A medium to heavy spinning or overhead outfit with 20 to 30-pound mainline and a fluorocarbon leader of similar strength will do the trick. Pilchards, squid, or fresh-cut baits are deadly. For lures, soft plastics in jerk shade or grub patterns, slowly worked along the bottom, can be incredibly effective. Don't be afraid to try a paternoster rig to present your bait just above the reef, for those who love light tackle action in estuaries and on beaches. Whiting and flathead are your go-to species. January sees whiting thriving in the warmer waters of estuaries and surf beaches, while flathead are abundant bottom dwellers that peak in summer across the country. For whiting, target sandy flats, weed beds, and areas with good tidal flow, especially around the high tide in the afternoon. A light spinning outfit with 4 to 8-pound line, a running sinker rig, and fresh worms, pippies, or peeled prawns are deadly. For flathead, hit the drop-offs, weed edges, and sandy gutters in estuaries, particularly during the run-out tide. They love to ambush prey. Use a light to medium spinning setup with 8 to 15-pound braid and a fluorocarbon leader. Soft plastics like grub tails or paddle tails hopped along the bottom, or small, hard-bodied lures trolled slowly, are super effective. Now, let's break down the conditions for January 9th, 2026, specifically looking at a representative region like Sydney. The weather. We're looking at a classic Australian summer day. The air temperature is expected to be lovely, with an average high around 27 degrees Celsius, 80 degrees Fahrenheit, and a comfortable low around 19 degrees Celsius, 67 degrees Fahrenheit. Critically, there's zero precipitation forecasted for our target day. This stable, warm and dry weather is fantastic for fishing. No sudden pressure drops from incoming storms to spook the fish. Consistent conditions generally mean more consistent feeding. Water temperature. The sea temperature in Sydney on January 9th, 2026 is predicted to be a very pleasant 24.4 degrees Celsius. This warm water is absolutely key. It means fish metabolism is high, they're actively feeding, and many species, like snapper and kingfish, are inshore for spawning. This warmth pushes baitfish into full swing, creating an abundant food source that gets predators fired up. The moon phase. On January 9th, 2026, we'll have a waning gibbous moon, about 6 days past the full moon. The illumination will be around 61% and getting smaller. Many old-timers believe fishing can be good during the waning gibbous phase, offering a steady bite rather than the explosive action of a new or full moon. It's also a neap tide day, meaning less extreme tidal movements. For Sydney, expect high tide at 1:33 a.m., low tide at 7:24 a.m., and another high tide at 1:29 p.m. The afternoon high tide could be a fantastic bite window, as fish will be moving with the gentler currents. Overall, fish activity. Given these conditions, fish activity in Australia for January 9th looks good to excellent. It's the peak of summer, water temperatures are ideal, and the stable, warm weather with no rain means comfortable conditions for both anglers and fish. While the waning gibbous moon and neap tides might temper the most aggressive feeding frenzies in some areas, the overall warmth and abundance of bait will keep fish very active. Expect strong feeding periods around the morning low tide and particularly during the afternoon high tide. Species like Barramundi, snapper, whiting, and flathead will be actively feeding and accessible. So, my friends, that's the lowdown for January 9th, 2026. This day promises some cracking fishing opportunities across Australia. I wish you all nothing but tight lines and screaming reels. Nippers! If you enjoyed this forecast and want more tips and tricks, make sure to hit that subscribe button, give us a like, and ring the notification bell so you don't miss a thing. And tell me in the comments below, what are your plans for fishing this January? Have you had any awesome summer catches recently? Share your stories and tips with our community. Happy fishing, everyone!